Good evening and thank you all for joining us today. I am Parth Varu, event planner at Microsoft Reactor Bangalore. This session will run over next 60 minutes including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel, and I'll share the link of your YouTube channel and few other useful links in the chat section soon. Before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. I would now like to welcome speaker for our today's session, Krunal. Krunal has been serving in the IT industry for 14 years. He has delivered training sessions for various ITs MNCs in India as well as abroad. Apart from the training session, he is also a part of the software product development where he is involved as a lead architect or a consultant. He is Microsoft MVP Azure, Microsoft Certified Trainer, as well as Microsoft Certified India Regional Lead. Over to Kunal to begin the session.
Hello everyone, thank you so much Parth, and I'm very delighted to be a part of Microsoft Reactor, and I welcome you all. I'm looking forward to a great session on Microsoft Sentinel. So let us start the session here. I'm going to share my screen now. So I hope the screen is visible. Let me start the session now. So friends, today we are going to talk about Microsoft Sentinel, previously known as Azure Sentinel. We are going to discuss the new intelligent security analytics for enterprise. Say, nowadays Microsoft Sentinel is booming, and seriously, I personally like it when I walk and I understand the features of Microsoft Sentinel. Let us take a look on the agenda what we are going to discuss. So we are going to understand what is Microsoft Sentinel. We will see why do we need Microsoft Sentinel, how Microsoft Sentinel works, how to configure Microsoft Sentinel, threat detection using analytics of the Microsoft Sentinel, and user entity behavioral analytics in the Microsoft Sentinel known as UEBA. So friends, first of all, let us try to understand the background. So when we work or say when we talk about the security operations center and the SecOps teams in many organizations, they are always flooded with overwhelming volumes of security logs. SOC and SecOps teams spend their days and time in setting up the infrastructure and maintenance tasks, but their focus must be on the high value alert. In fact, many real threats slip through these cracks. And that's why Microsoft invested in a new cloud native SIEM and SOAR solution called Microsoft Azure Sentinel, which helps SOC and SecOps teams to solve some of the modern challenges. So friends, what is Microsoft Sentinel here? And what I'm trying to convey? So when we talk about the Microsoft Sentinel, first we should understand these few terminologies. We should understand what is SIEM, what is SOAR. To understand SIEM, first we should understand what is SIM, which is Security Information Management. In the old days, we had worked with many tools which provides us the information about the security. And then we have some tools known as SIEM, which is Security Event Management. So when any security breach specific event is raised, it's just going to send some alert or something. So now Microsoft has combined both of these things in a one tool, SIEM, known as Security Information and Event Management. So that means this tool will provide you the overall information about your on-premises or cloud environment security, as well as they are going to identify, analyze, and visualize events which would be raised by the security breach or any threat specific events are there. Also, it is having part of SOAR, where they are also going to set security orchestration, automation, and respond. So automatically they are going to respond to this event. So friends, Microsoft Sentinel is a cloud native SIEM and SOAR solution. It provides organization, SecOps, and SOC teams a powerful tool to detect and respond to cyber attacks without the complexity and scalability challenges of the traditional solution. To understand this, let us talk about the SIEM first. Well, SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management. SIEM technology aggregates event data produced by various devices, network infrastructure, system and application. SIEM tools must have an ability to analyze this event data in real time for early detection of targeted attacks and data breaches, and to collect, store, investigate, and report on log data for incident responses. It must have ability to discuss forensics and regulatory compliances. This technology provides real-time analysis of events for security monitoring, query, and long-range analytics for historical analysis and other support incidents, investigation, and management and reporting. So what is SOAR now? SOAR stands for Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response, which is a set of compatible software programs that allow an organization to collect data about security threats from multiple sources and respond to low-level security events without human assistance. So SOAR is there for responding these security events, and SIEM is there, which is going to collect, then visualize, analyze this real-time security specific event data. So in today's world, the cloud-based SIEM offering is an emerging market. And that is how the traditional SIEM tools are moving towards cloud-based SIEM offering. Say it is an innovation insights for SIEM as a service. Say the Gartner states that by 2020, 25% of new security information and event management technology implementation will be delivered as a service, which is a substantial increase from 5% today. What sets Azure Sentinel apart from other SIEMs and SaaS vendors is that it is built in the cloud. It is not being adopted to the cloud. So SIEM is Azure Sentinel is a Microsoft cloud native SIEM offerings for on-premises as well as cloud hosted workloads. See, eventually, if we talk about the older days, we had worked with log management, where we have descriptive analysis, like what happened, and that we try to figure it out based on the logs which are generated. Then, when SIEM comes to the market, we correlate these logs, and here we go for diagnostic and predictive analysis, like why did it happen, what could happen. And now when SIEM plus SOAR are connected, here we talk about log management, correlation of log management, as well as analysis and orchestrations. Like here we talk about prescriptive analysis over there, like what should be done in such scenario. Now why do we need Microsoft Sentinel? So to understand the need for a solution like Microsoft Sentinel, we first need to look at some of the challenges faced by cybersecurity professionals. So exponential growth in the number of logs associated with the digital assets has made security a big data problem. Storage of such ever-growing data requires a massive infrastructure that can scale with the increasing demand. According to Cisco's 2020 CISO benchmark survey, security professionals reported that they are only able to investigate 51% of their security alerts. According to a 2017 study by Enterprise Management Associate, 30% of alerts are false positives. Such massive high numbers of false positives make identifying the actual high value events very difficult. According to the ISSC 2019 cybersecurity workforce study, there is a global shortage of nearly 4 million cybersecurity professionals. In the same study, 51% of cybersecurity professionals say their organization is at moderate or extreme risk due to cybersecurity staff shortage. From the same study, say 27% of cybersecurity professionals think they can't do their job effectively due to the lack of resources. Apart from the storage capacity and scale, traditional SIEM solutions lack advanced querying and correlation to find the needle in the haystack. With these challenges, companies are looking for solutions that make their security teams more efficient. reduce the volumes of the mundane manual task, and provide robust automation and orchestration capabilities backed by advanced AI and machine learning. Microsoft Sentinel has been designed to address all these challenges we discussed earlier by automatically scaling to meet the data collection and storage requirements, integrating directly with the Microsoft Intelligent Security Graph. Well, Microsoft Security Graph is the one place where 600 plus Microsoft services around the globe send security signals and telemetry every second of every minute of the day, including advanced anomaly detections. Here we use Microsoft's machine learning algorithms and thus removing the need for companies to hire their own data scientists, reducing the need for human intervention by leveraging automation capabilities for investigating and responding to alerts, providing intuitive dashboards and advanced tools to help security analysts. So in today's world, we are getting high volumes of noisy alerts. IT teams and the SecOps teams are busy in deployment and the maintenance. These rising infrastructure costs and upfront investment are stopping us or preventing us to digging more about the security challenges. We don't have, or we can say we have shortage of security skills. We have lack of automation. We have too many disconnected products. For example, we have some on-premises firewalls are running. We have few firewalls are running in AWS. We have few firewalls are running in Azure. We have some VMs running in on-premises and Azure, and they all are sending alerts and signals. And we want to have sophistication of these threats. For all these things now, Microsoft Sentinel comes to the picture. Now let us take a look on how Microsoft Sentinel works. So here you can see I divide this Sentinel working mechanism into 6 pillars. The first one is collection, then visualization, analytics, incidents, automation, and hunting. Let us talk about various stages of Sentinel working mechanism. The first one is collection. So Microsoft Sentinel can collect data on all users, devices, applications, and infrastructure both on-premises and across multiple cloud environments. It can easily connect to security sources out of the box. For this connection, we have several connectors available, which provides real-time integration. It also includes built-in connectors for third-party products and services, where you can connect non-Microsoft solutions also. Apart from these, it supports common event format, syslog, or REST API to connect the required data source with Microsoft Sentinel. If I talk about collection in detail, so here we can collect the security data at cloud scale from any source. Say after onboarding Microsoft Sentinel into your workspace, you connect data sources to start ingesting your data into Microsoft Sentinel. So first you are going to have your workspace, and then you are going to connect your Microsoft Sentinel to that workspace. And after that, you are going to connect your various data sources. And for that, we have various connectors available. So Microsoft Sentinel comes with many connectors. For Microsoft products, it's available out of the box and providing real-time integration. So for example, we have service-to-service connectors, which includes Microsoft 365 Defender connectors and Microsoft 365 sources such as Office 365, Azure Active Directory, Microsoft Defender for Identity, and Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps. You can also enable out-of-the-box connectors to the broader security ecosystem for non-Microsoft products. For example, here we can use syslog or common event format or REST APIs to connect other data sources with Microsoft Sentinels. If I talk about the REST API integration here, so many security technologies provide a set of APIs for retrieving log files, and some data sources can use those APIs to connect to Microsoft Sentinel. We also have agent-based integration. So here Microsoft Sentinel can use the syslog protocol to connect via an agent to any data source that can perform real-time log streaming. For example, most on-premises data source connect via agent-based integration. Here we have the syslog, where we can stream events from Linux-based syslog supporting device into Microsoft Sentinel. We have common event format. So the log formats may vary, but many sources supports this common event format based formatting. The Microsoft Sentinel agent, which is actually the log analytics agent, converts these SAP formatted logs into format that log analytics can ingest. For data sources that emit data in CEF, we need to set up the syslog agent and then configure the CEF data flow. We can also have custom logs. We can have service-to-service integration. So in short, this Microsoft Sentinel can take data from various cloud-hosted, Office 365, Azure IaaS, PaaS, Microsoft Security Alerts, as well as various event data from the on-premises resources. The next step is visualization. So after you connected your data source to the Microsoft Sentinel, you can monitor the data using the Microsoft Sentinel integration with Azure Monitor workbooks. So here we get a lot of workbooks. We can choose it from the gallery of workbooks. Even we can customize our own workbooks and we can have the query. So first step is connect your data. Connect your data via connector. And now you can have a workbooks where you can have lots of predefined queries and you can have your custom queries. To write this custom query, we use Gusto query language. Right? We can even take advantage of rich visualization options where we can have graphs, charts, etc. And we can have insights into one or more data sources from the one place only. Even here, we can have interactive dashboard. So while workbooks are displayed differently in the Sentinel, you can also create reports using these workbooks. Microsoft Sentinel allows you to create custom workbooks across your data and also comes with built-in workbooks templates to allow you to quickly gain insights across your data as soon as you connect a data source. Workbooks provides a flexible canvas for data analysis and the creation of rich visual reports within the Azure portal. So using the workbooks, you can create rich reports also. It shows you that, like here you can see, it shows that total 4,000 sign-ins are there. Out of that, around 3,600 sign-in requests are turned to the success, 200 requests are in the failure, 186 requests are pending. And here, like, we can have various location-based details. All those things we can have here. Even when we create the workbook, we have rich set of capabilities for visualizing our data. So here we can display our data into text, chart, grids, tiles, trees, graphs, composite bar, honeycomb, map, etc. We have all these options where we can display, like this visualization area is a chart, but then we can select the various options to display these various workbooks data. So first is connection. After connection, we can visualize our data. Now third comes analytics. This is the part of threat detection. So Microsoft Sentinel can detect threats and minimize false positives by using analytics and threat intelligence drawn directly from Microsoft. Here we have Azure Analytics, which plays a major role. It provides a built-in template directly out of the box to create threat detection rules and automate threat responses. Apart from this, Sentinel also provides feasibility to create custom rules. And today we will see in the demo that how we can create the custom rules. We have 4 types of rules available, or you can say 4 available built-in templates to create the rules. The first one is Microsoft Security Template. So when you use this template, Sentinel incidents will automatically create a real-time form of alerts that generate other Microsoft security solutions. Then we have a Fusion template. This template can only create only one rule and is enabled by default. It is based on the logic of advanced multi-stage attack detection. It internally uses machine learning algorithm to correlate many low fidelity alerts and events. Then we have machine learning behavioral analytics template. And this template can create only one rule with each type template. These are the based on proprietary Microsoft machine learning algorithms, and the users can't know the internal working of these templates and the logic. And the last one is schedule templates, or say schedule rule. It is the only available template in which the users can view the query logic and make changes as per the requirements in the environment. Schedule templates are schedule analytics rule depend on built-in queries written by Microsoft, and we are going to write our own queries also. As we discussed, so here we get the power of machine learning to increase the catch rate without increasing the noise. So here they use internally machine learning models. We are unaware of that logic. And it's going to help us to catch various security specific incidents and events over there. After analytics, the fourth part is incidents. So first one was collection, second one was visualization, third is analytics, and the fourth one is incident. Here Sentinel can investigate and hunt suspicious activities across the environment. For example, say you define one rule that if any of the Active Directory user, the role is changed to global administrator, you want to set one incident or one alert. So it would be triggered inside here. It would be caught here inside incidents. Here we have built-in queries which are developed by Microsoft, and we can have our own queries that we can write using the custom query language. We can also create a bookmarks. We can create these bookmarks of our findings that we come across during the hunting process so that we can check them later in the future. We can also use notebook to automate this investigation. So like here the notebooks are a step-by-step guide resembling the playbooks. Here we can create this notebook to keep track of the steps involved during an investigation and hunting process. These notebooks summarize all the steps involved in hunting process into a reusable playbooks. We can also store the query data. And the last one is hunting. So when we use Microsoft Sentinel, there are 4 different ways to hunt for security threats. One is the Jupyter notebook for hunting. Then we can use a bookmark for hunting, then live stream for hunting, and manage hunting and live stream queries using REST API. We can also explore our various data sets available. We can search using free text or the fields. We can tabulate our data. We can visualize our query results and automatically detect and plot anomalies in the data. So if we talk about bookmark and live stream to manage your hunting. So here the bookmarks help you preserve the query logs and the result you executed in the Sentinel. Microsoft Sentinel also allows you to add notes and text to your reference bookmarks. Viewing these bookmarks from the hunting bookmark table in your log analytics workspace enables you to filter and join bookmark data with other data sources, making it easy to look for collaborating evidence. If we talk about the live streaming for the hunting, we can use this hunting live stream for create interactive sessions that led to perform the following task. Here we can test newly created queries as events occurs. It's a live stream hunting. We can get notified when the threats occur. When we launch investigations that involve an asset such as host or user. Here we have Jupyter Notebook for hunting. We can also use Jupyter Notebook for carrying out our hunting process and which extend the scope of what can be analyzed from the gathered data. Here we have this KQL magic library, custom query language magic library, which provides the necessary functions to take Sentinel queries and run them directly inside a notebook. It runs in the Azure cloud and we can save them and share them as HTML and JSON. Here we can also connect external data sources. The Azure delivers these notebooks as an integrated Jupyter notebooks for Azure environment, which can store, share, and execute notebooks over there. Say Microsoft Sentinel can react smoothly and respond quickly to built-in orchestration incidents, and common and frequent tasks can easily be converted into automation. So like when particular incident is found, to respond to that incident, we can trigger Azure Logic App or Azure function or any another workbook, any another automation script we can trigger over there as a response of that incident, what we found by the hunting. It is capable of creating simplified security orchestration with playbooks. It can also make tickets in ServiceNow, Jira, etc. when this service incident take place. Now let us take a look on the components of the Sentinel. So Microsoft Sentinel components are divided into two parts: threat management specific components and configuration specific components. In the threat management specific components, we have dashboards, cases, hunting, as well as the notebooks. When we talk about the dashboard, so Microsoft Sentinel has built-in dashboard, which provides visualization of the data gathered from different data sources. It enables the security team to gain insights into events generated by these services. Cases is a collection of all relevant evidence belongs to a specific investigation. A case can contain one or more than one alert based on the analytics defined by the user. The hunting gets the benefit of the custom query language, is a powerful component for security analysts. It is responsible for performing proactive threat analysis across the environment to detect and analyze security threats. Here we use KQL, custom query language, which enhances the searching capabilities in Microsoft Sentinel. Due to its machine learning capabilities that can detect suspicious behaviors, such as abnormal traffic and traffic pattern in firewall data, suspicious authentication pattern, and resource creation anomalies. And the fourth component in the threat management is the notebook. Here it also covers Jupyter Notebook, which is based on Jupyter Notebooks. So Microsoft Sentinel provides flexibility and widens the scope of what can be done with the collected data by providing out-of-the-box integration with Jupyter Notebook. Here we can use these Jupyter Notebooks and we can get the benefits of machine learning, embedded analytics, visualization, and data analysis. If we talk about the configuration components, the first one is data connectors. Here we have built-in connectors available in Sentinel to facilitate data ingestion from Microsoft products and solutions and partner solutions. So we have Playbook. So Playbook is a collection of procedures to execute in response to an alert triggered by the Sentinel. It leverages Azure Logic Apps, so the user can use flexibility, capability, customizability, and built-in template of Logic Apps. To automate and orchestrate tasks that can be ready to configure to run manually or execute automatically when specific alerts are triggered. Then we have analytics. So analytics enables the users to create custom query or custom alert using KQL. Here we get the community. We get the GitHub for the Azure Sentinel community page, which contains detections based on different data sources. The users can leverage to create alerts and respond to threats in their environments. The community page also contains sample hunting queries, security playbooks, and other artifacts. Then we have a workspace. So workspace or log analytics workspace is a container which consists of data and configuration information. Azure Sentinel uses this container to store data collected from different data sources. You can create a new workspace or use an existing workspace for storing the data. But it would help if you had a dedicated workspace because alert rules in investigations don't work across multiple workspaces. Now, how to deploy Microsoft Sentinel? So Microsoft Sentinel uses a role-based access control authorization model that enables administrators to set up a granular level of permission based on different requirements and permissions. Azure Sentinel has three built-in roles available. The first one is reader. Users assigned to this role can view incidents and data, but cannot make changes. The second role is responder. Users assigned to this role can view incidents and data and perform some actions on adventures, such as assign to another user or change the incident severity. And then we have contributor. Users assigned to this role can view incidents and data, perform some actions on incidents, and create or delete analytics rule. To deploy Microsoft Sentinel, one needs contributor permissions to the subscriptions in which Microsoft Sentinel Workspace resides. To provide access to different teams based on their work with Microsoft Sentinel, leverage the role-based access model to assign granular permissions to various groups. Now, before we go with the demo, let us understand one more terminology here. Say, what is Microsoft Sentinel Center? So here we have Azure Security Center, which is a cloud workload protection platform that targets server workloads protections, unique requirements in today's hybrid data center architecture. In contrast, Microsoft Sentinel Center is a cloud native SIEM which analyzes event data in real time for early detection of targeted attacks and data breaches, and to collect, store, investigate, and respond to security events. So using Microsoft Sentinel, we are going to collect data in real time for early detection of targeted attacks and data breaches. And we are going to collect, store, investigate, and respond to security event. Let us understand what is Azure Security Center. So Azure Security Center deals with Azure assets configuration following the best practice in the simple terms. Microsoft Sentinel deals with detecting bad actors and preventing unauthorized access to data, while Azure Security Center deals with assets configuration following the best practices in the simpler terms over there. If we talk about the Sentinel pricing, so here we have two models available. One is Azure Sentinel pricing, one is capacity reservation based pricing model, and one is pay as you go based pricing model. When we talk about capacity reservation based pricing model, is a fixed fee license where you pay for the capacity of the data ingested into Microsoft Sentinel. For example, if you purchase a capacity of 100 GB per day in the Central India region, it will cost you around, say, 9,253 rupees per day for Microsoft Sentinel and 18,000 per day for log analytics. The price differs from region to region. If you go for pay as you go pricing model, so the first 5 GB is free, and then you are charged, say, around 200 rupees per GB for data ingested into Azure Sentinel. It's around 185 rupees per GB. Pay as you go is based on log analytics pricing and is set as around, say, 200 rupees per GB with 5 GB free per month per billing account. The data which is ingested into Azure Monitor Log Analytics Workspace can be retained free of the charge for the first 90 days, after which you will be charged around 10 rupees per GB per month. By default, the collected data is available for 90 days, but can be extended to 730 days. Now let us see a demo of how the Sentinel works. So I'm here in my Azure portal. And in this Azure portal, first I'm going to create a log analytics workspace. So first step, I'm going to create a log analytics workspace. So I'm going going to create a new resource group, say RG Microsoft Reactor. And I'm going to provide a name for this log analytics workspace, say MS Reactor Workspace. And I'm just going to put it in the East US data center. And I'm just going to create it. Here you can see the pricing tier is pay as you go per GB based on 2018 standard. I'm just going to click on create. Okay, so here you can see the workspace is deployed successfully. So yes, the workspace is up and running. Now I'll search for Microsoft Sentinel. So here it is. I'll just open Microsoft Sentinel. And I'm going to associate, or you can say I'm going to deploy this Microsoft Sentinel on that newly created workspace. So for that, I'm going to click on create. And here you get all the available workspaces. So this workspace available, which is just now I am created. It is going to start my 31 days free trial. And it is going to deploy this Sentinel to this workspace. So I'm just going to click on add. So here you can see it says the Sentinel's free trial is activated, and the free trial is active from this workspace on 1st June to 2nd July, right? And during this trial, up to 10 GB per day are free for Sentinel and log analytics. Data beyond 10 GB per day included quantity will be billed, right? Okay. Now here by default you are in this news and guides tab, where we can see what is Sentinel is a cloud native SIEM to help you focus on what matters most. That means just focus on, you just ingest your data here and let them take care of it. Just customize your query. Everything is at one place. Here we have collect data, then create security alerts, and then automate and orchestrate. So first I have to collect my data to this Sentinel. In other words, I have to ingest data to this Sentinel. And for that here, under configurations, we have data connectors. Here you can see, as of now, we have 123 connectors available, covering various sources. Like here, even using this connector, you can inject or you can connect Amazon Web Service to the Sentinel, right? Amazon Web Service S3, Apache HTTP servers, Altacian, Confluence Audit. So lots of things you can connect here, like Azure Active Directory, Azure Activity, Azure DDoS protection, firewall, key vault, virtual machine. So various data sources available. So I'm going to select, say, Azure Active Directory. So when you click on Azure Active Directory, here you can see right hand side, it will show you the detail for this connector. They say this connector gains insights into Azure Active Directory by connecting audit and sign-in logs to Sentinel to gather insights around Azure Active Directory scenarios. You can learn about app usage, conditional access policies, legacy, authorization related details, etc. To view these logs, here we have around 7 workbooks are given, 2 queries are given, and total 67 analytic rules templates are given. We can go to these analytics templates also. But right now I'm just going to click on open connector page. So first of all, here it checks whether you are running with appropriate permissions, roles, role-based access controls to work with this connector. So yes, for the workspace, you need read and write permission, which I have. For diagnostic settings, I need read and write permissions to Azure AD diagnostic settings, which I have. And I need global administrator or security administrator on the workspace channel. That is also I'm having. Now here, what type of log data you want to ingest to Microsoft Sentinel, that you are going to select from here. So I'm going to select sign-in logs, audit logs, non-interactive user sign-in logs. These all are in the preview section. And I'm just going to click on apply changes. When you click on apply changes, they have successfully applied it, and now they have started ingesting these Azure AD specific audit logs and sign-in logs and non-interactive user sign-in logs data to my Microsoft Sentinel. Now here, to view this thing, we can go to next steps. And when we go to next steps, here you can see we have these two queries given. Like these are the custom query language syntax, like sign-in logs take 1000, sort by the time generated, or say audit logs summarize count by bean, minimum time generated 1 hour. So last by 1 hour beans logs, it will show you here. I can run this query. Even I have various workbooks gallery, and here you can see I have some workbooks are also given to me to view this logs data. I'm just going to select this Azure AD sign-in logs. So I get this workbook, Azure AD sign-in logs workbook, and I'm just going to save this one. Again, I'm going to save it to this East US region. Yes, and now if I go to this view template here, we have to wait for a few seconds and then we'll get some logs here. Meanwhile, before we do this thing, let me go back. And again select Azure audit logs. And I'm also going to save it. Yes. And here we can just even see the view saved workbook. So where I have these two workbooks with me. Still, it will take few seconds to get the data over there. Again, I go back to this Microsoft Sentinel page. Let me come out of these connectors. What was just a minute? Okay, friends, 1 minute. So I was just waiting for that workbooks to be done. Yes, now here it is available, and this is MS Reactor Workspace. Okay, now here, let me go to analytics. And let me create a rule. Now, as we discussed, friends, say we have various type of rules available. The one is schedule query rule. This rule will run on a scheduled time. Then we have some Microsoft incident creation rule. Now, this is what when there is an incident created by any another Microsoft security specific technology, this rule is going to be executed. I'm going to create schedule query rule. And let me give it a name, say user permission is updated. The same thing, let me put in the descriptions. The tactics, it is part of what tactics. So here let me select, say, so here these are the various, like, say credential specific tactics, or say privilege escalations or say initial access is up to you, right? And then here we can set the severity. This is a medium severity. And by default, this rule would be enabled. Now let me write this set rule logic here. Let me write a custom query here. So here I am having this query with me. These queries are going to look for audit logs where operation name is add member to the role, where category equal to role management, result equal to success, where target resource contains company administrator or target resource contains tenant admins. And the project target user equal to take this target resource, take the first property and take that user principal name's value, take the value of this key. Now, very crucial part of this query is this entity mapping. Here I have this target user that I have to map with this Azure or say Microsoft Sentinel analytics query mechanism. So here we say entity type is say account where name is equal to target user. So that means when for my Azure Active Directory account, the username is changed to something else. Is usernames, particular usernames permission is changed. User's permission is changed to administrator. So they are going to mark this one as an incident. And I want to run this query every 5 minutes. And I want it to look back at the data of last 5 minutes. I don't want to miss any single alert, so alert threshold is 0. And even we can group all the events into single alerts. And stop running query after alert is generated. No, I want to run it every time. Then let us go to incident settings. Here, say create incidents from alerts triggered by the analytics rule, which is enabled by default. And I can group all these alerts in one incident and say limit the group to alerts created. So one group will have alerts of last 5 hours into a single incident. And then automated response. As of now, I don't want to do any automated response. Otherwise, like here, as you mentioned, I can have new automation rule conditions and I can perform some action where I can run any playbook, change the status, assign the owner, add tags, as we discussed. Lots of things are possible over there. I don't want to do any automation response here and just review plus create. Here you get the summary. This is what your query rule. And I'm just going to click on create. So here you can see one more rule is created. This is user permission is updated rule, which is the schedule rule. As I told you, by default is the fusion rule, which internally say advanced multi-stage attack detection. It is a fusion rule, right? This one is the schedule rule. Fusion rule is internally using Microsoft's security algorithms, machine learning specific algorithms they use internally. So here this rule is this analytics rule is created. Now let me go to another instance of my Azure portal. Let me go to Azure Active Directory here. And let me go to users. And let me find out a user. Let me go to assign role. And I'm just going to add role assignment. And I'm just going to change global administrator. So this user role I have updated as a global admin. Just wait for a minute. So 9 and just see, this is what my Azure Active Directory. This Azure Active Directory data is already ingested to Microsoft Sentinel. In Sentinel now you have analytics rule. And here you say that when a user role is updated, generate and raise an incident. Let me just refresh it. Yes, it is there. So now if I go back here, and if I go to incidents here, As of now, we don't have any incidents. I auto refresh on so that after a few seconds, we'll get one incident over here. Meanwhile, we can just check this thing is already there in my previously created workbooks. Because we are not going to wait for 5 minutes.
No, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Can we zoom the screen a bit?
Zooming the screen. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So here, like you can see, okay, now again, let me focus here on this screen. So here you can see, say I get total 8 incidents are there in the last 24 hours. And when I create the new user, when I update the user with this global administrator role, right? We are getting these incidents over there, right? Also here, the user is updated, user is updated, user is updated, new user is updated. Even again, after 5 minutes, we'll get one more incident would be here, right? Also, here, if I go to data workbooks, and if I go to this Azure AD audit logs, and I say view saved workbook, you can see it shows me this Azure AD specific audit data's role management. What I did here, I add this member to this role. Operation count is 5 times I did this thing, right? Also here, if I go back and if I just see Azure AD sign-in logs, it will show me the sign-in activity. So this is what 40 times I have signed in last 14 days. And this is how it shows me all these activities over there. So here you can see who has signed in. Even it was a very simple rule, right? But you can configure these rules in detail and then you can get acknowledgement of who has signed in from which location, how many success sign-ins are there, how many failures are there, audit logs, then also that incidents like in your subscription, the user's role is updated. Once you get that incident, based on that incident, you can trigger as your logic app or say any another as your functions or any another email alerts, whatever you want to do that you can trigger it out over there. Right. So here I just talk about Azure Sentinels, we talk about connectors, and we talk about the incidents. Right. So this is for the session. I am open for Q&A. If you have any queries, please let me know. It's a 1 hour session. We are not digging it in much detail, but in upcoming sessions, we'll see even the Azure Sentinel part 2, where we'll work with, say, automations, event huntings, incident huntings, and all those stuff. Kapil, the connectors are not open for storage. Again, I would like to ask you, like, what is the meaning of the storage here? What is the exact question you are asking?
Yeah, hi, Kunal. Actually, I just want to if I have Sentinel deployed somewhere like on premises or either on cloud. So in case I have some storage product, do I have that kind of privilege, like I can collect logs from that particular system or some like a legacy hardware that that is available?
Yes,
that,
correct. So if it is an on-premises machine or AWS over there, right? And as we discussed, we have various event-based connectors are there, agent-based connectors are there, right? And we have REST API integration is also.
Okay.
So if you get the REST API, you can do it. You can just install syslog or any another agent from that on-premises machine, and then you can connect it to this Microsoft Sentinel.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Hi, Kunal. Thanks for the presentation. It was quite good. I've got a quick question about log analytics workspace. So what I understood, it seems to be a prerequisite. So my question is it something, all the data that is streamed into the Sentinel, it actually sits in a log analytics workspace and then Sentinel sits on top of it to do the analysis part of it?
Correct. So you have log analytics workspace and you are going to deploy Sentinel on this workspace. Once you deploy it, right? Once you deploy it, now what happens? You have connector. Connector will allow you to connect to various sources, right? From the sources, it will ingest that data, right? Give it to the Sentinel. Sentinel is going to store it in the workbooks and that log analytics workspace.
Right. So if there's already a existing workspace where we're streaming data from other sources, for example, we got one where we're sourcing some data from the cloud-based VMs. So can we create a Sentinel instance on top of the existing workspace?
Yes, you can obviously do it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. So no more questions. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Sorry. Yes, Nitin, tell me.
Yeah, so one question. I'm not sure how relevant is that, but so in my organization, we're currently using Datadog as our SIEM tool, but I do not have much exposure to it. So do you have any idea as to how Sentinel differs from Datadog, or I think Splunk as well? I've used Splunk previously for the purpose of recording all this instance.
Datadog you are using, right?
Yes, so my organization is using Datadog at the moment, but I'm not very much actively involved in that. So I just wanted to understand in terms of comparison, where does Sentinel stand and what are differences as to Datadog or any other offerings out in the market?
See, ultimately both are this SIEM tool over there, right? But again, that Sentinel is Microsoft's cloud native tool. So I'm not aware of the Datadog is working on cloud, but the Sentinel works on the cloud as well as on premises both, right? And even still, if you want to go for this comparison, right? So both gives you this real-time monitoring, threat intelligence, behavior profiling, right? Data and user monitoring, right? Application monitoring, analytics, right? Yes, pricing wise, there would be some difference, right? But ultimately, say both are the SIEM tool, right? From the different vendor, you can say.
Kunal, I have one question here.
Thank you.
So as we saw, different set of sources that we can connect to Sentinel in order to rectify the security incidents. So is there anything the Sentinel doing with application level, like application logs or something like that?
That also we can connect, right? That also we can connect. So for that we have connectors available. It will connect. It will allow you to connect to even to your applications also, right? One more thing is what once you say we have this application insights and all, right? So using application insights and all, once you generate the logs and logs are coming to you, now you can run the Sentinel over that logs using this KQL queries over there.
Yeah, so those are more of kind of the event or system logs kind of things, right?
So Sentinel supports
those are
all this stuff.
Mostly related to the API calls and all. I think the calls made to the IIS or the functions, correct?
Correct, sir. So if you understand that the Sentinel is more for this is a security information and event management tool, right? So here, if you use Sentinel to get security insights, like if you write down your query, like how many times user has tried to log into your application and he has unsuccessful login, or you want to track the IP addresses, right? So all those things you can do using this Sentinel here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I was just confused, we have two set of securities that we usually work on. Like one is like network security, right, related to the infrastructure and the entity that we use from the Azure cloud. And the other one is like the whatever the application we run on top of it, which is a custom made by the individual company and all. And it has set of logs generated through the application, which may contains the transitional data, not transitional as such, but the debug or any set of information or error logs which are relevant to application itself. So I was like surprised if it is also working on that.
Yes, it works on both of these things.
Okay, great, thanks.
Before we call for a wrap up, I'm sending few links to you all. Yeah, I'm going through each link. The first link is the LinkedIn group link. I've shared the link in the chat section. It's the LinkedIn group link. The second one is the Reactor Bangalore upcoming events. That is our meetup page link. The third one is our Reactor YouTube channel link, where we upload our sessions after finishing the recording. And the fourth one is the today's learn module link. So any more questions, guys, or shall we call for a wrap up? Yes, Bhumesh, you have something to say? You can unmute your mic and even talk. Okay. Any more questions? Final call for to ask the questions. Okay, Kunal, then let's call for a wrap up.
Sure, Parth.
Thank you, Kunal, for the session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please do share your feedback about today's session. Also, feel free to use the Learn module link, which I have shared in the chat section. This will give you the access for your additional resource and take your learning further. Also, please visit our Microsoft Reactor Bangalore meetup page for more upcoming sessions. Thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all. Thank you so much.